Halfway through the marriage license procedure, Ethan Evans's idealized ex sent a dramatic photo implying a suicide attempt. Without a second thought, he abandoned me and got married to Chloe, then went on their honeymoon abroad. That night, his idealized ex posted photos showing used condoms scattered everywhere. Ethan Evans's message followed closely. Even though Chloe and I got married, she's still willing to let you be the other woman. You should learn from her generosity and understanding. Don't be ungrateful. I know you can't live without me. When all your father's businesses are transferred to me, I'll spare 1 day a week to see you. Chloe is afraid of pain, so you'll bear the children, and they'll be hers. She's the wife, you're just the other woman. If you want to keep my heart, you need to be more understanding. I just laughed. As the only daughter of the richest family in Westwood City, the head of the 4 most powerful families, whoever married me would be entitled to all my family's assets. Ethan Evans didn't know that the moment he abandoned me, I had already changed my marriage partner. A month later, I saw Ethan Evans again at a private charity auction. He had his arm around Chloe Thompson's waist, letting her sit on his lap, kissing her passionately as if no one else was there. The rising snickers and whispers in the room turned into mocking laughter because of my arrival. Well, Ethan, your lapdog finally couldn't stand the loneliness and came looking for you. Miss Sterling, you did good this time, broke your endurance record, a whole month. Must have been going crazy missing Ethan. Ethan Evans lifted his head from Chloe Thompson's neck as if nothing had happened. He raised an eyebrow and sneered, Aurora Sterling, am I giving you too much credit? Don't you know what you are? Playing hard to get with me? As if. If you've got the guts, don't come looking for me. You can't even be a proper lapdog, it's truly disco. Sting. In the 5 years I dated Ethan Evans, I had seen these words and these expressions countless times. Before, my world revolved around him. When he publicly mocked and criticized me, I would always feel hurt and my eyes would well up, but I was terrified he'd be unhappy, so I didn't dare shed tears. Afterward, I would cry silently into her pillow, repeatedly analyzed her mistakes, terrified he'd hate her. But now, I just replied calmly, I'm not here for you. Ethan Evans didn't expect this attitude, thought I was still playing coy. He kicked the chair in front of me away. Addicted to acting? You stand there. Anything Chloe likes later, you'll bid wildly high prices and buy it for her. If Chloe is happy, I might consider forgiving you. Ethan, Chloe Thompson nestled in his arms, pouting childishly, I don't want things bought with her dirty money. A rich girl like her with no ability only knows how to spend her parents' money to show off. Who knows if that money is clean? I want to buy what I like with my own effort. Ethan Evans pinched her puffed-up little face, his eyes full of doting affection. Yes, our Chloe is strong and independent, nothing like this useless parasite who only knows how to spend money. Aurora Sterling just has to buy things for me. You know how pathetic she is. She feels bad if she's not clinging to me and spending money on me. Just consider it a good deed, cure her of her patheticness. Chloe Thompson giggled, then reluctantly nodded. She looked up at me with a disdainful look. Miss Sterling, if you don't mind me saying, you're supposed to be from a good family, but you stick around like a piece of chewed-up gum. A woman should be independent and self-reliant like me, not always relying on a man. Otherwise, what's the difference between you and rotten cabbage? I lowered my gaze to the $1 million custom dress she was wearing and smiled faintly. A housekeeper's daughter talking about independence and self-reliance with me, the only daughter of the richest family in Westwood City? I walked to the corner and found a quiet seat. Ethan Evans frowned, looking a bit bewildered, vaguely sensing I was somehow different from before. Before he could react, his friends around him started laughing and teasing again. TSK, here we go again, hiding in the corner and crying. Without our Ethan, Miss Sterling can't even survive. Don't say that. The Sterling family is the richest family in Westwood City after all, and Aurora Sterling is their only daughter. Mr. Sterling plans to choose a strategic marriage partner from the other 3 major families in Westwood City at her 25th birthday party. I heard the person has already been chosen. Whoever marries Aurora Sterling will inherit all the Sterling family's assets and businesses. The Sterling family's assets are worth at least hundreds of billions. I wonder who this immense fortune will fall to. Someone immediately winked. Is that even a question? It's gotta be our Ethan. Everyone in Westwood City knows that Aurora Sterling loves Ethan to death. If Ethan told her to die, she wouldn't hesitate for a second. Look, he's only ignored her for a month, and she's already back, tailing him. Ha ha ha, she's the ultimate lapdog. Once he gets the Sterling family's assets, the whole of Westwood City will be the Evans family's domain. Our Ethan really got away with women. Teach us your secrets. Ethan Evans pretended to be unfazed, but the slight upward curve of his lips betrayed his secret delight. He deliberately raised his voice so I could hear him. This kind of easy woman who throws herself at me isn't even worth one of Chloe's toes. If she wasn't entertaining to play with, I wouldn't bother giving her a second glance. She's so desperate to make me marry her, can't shake her off. It's honestly driving me crazy. After saying that, he waited for me to burst into tears. Normally, by this time, my eyes would have welled up, and I wouldn't be able to help shedding tears of grievance. But this time, let alone tears, I didn't even give him a proper look. Ethan Evans's face instantly darkened. He was about to walk towards me when Chloe Thompson clung to his arm. Ethan, the auction is starting, stay with me. Ethan Evans could only hold her and sit back down. Throughout the entire auction, Chloe Thompson liked almost every item. She would murmur about not being able to afford them, then pretend to be strong and say she wanted to work hard to buy them herself. Ethan Evans looked at her pitiful, aggrieved expression and felt terribly sorry for her. He waved his hand and bid wildly high prices for all of them. She happily threw her arms around his neck and kissed him again and again. As for me, I only bid wildly high prices once, when the last men's wristwatch was presented. The wristwatch was sapphire blue, a subtle yet elegant design. It matched the temperament of the person in my heart very well. He should like it as a getting married gift. Just as I got the desired gift and was about to leave, Ethan Evans called out to me. The organizer was with him, holding a list. I was puzzled. Is there anything else? Ethan Evans took the list and handed it to me, speaking in a condescending tone. Don't say I'm not giving you a chance. Pay for all these auction items, and I'll begrudgingly have dinner with you tonight. I flipped through it. There were 15 auction items in total. Because Chloe Thompson had been screaming throughout the auction, Ethan Evans bid wildly high prices all the way. Items that shouldn't have cost more than $100 million were somehow bid up to $2.5 billion. Seeing that I didn't move for a long time, Chloe Thompson righteously accused me, Miss Sterling, relationships between men and women should be equal. As Ethan's girlfriend, you usually have all your expenses covered by Ethan. It's one thing not spending a penny yourself, but now you're only asking you to cover a small amount to buy Ethan a gift, and you're being stingy? You say you love Ethan, but you're just hypocritical and selfish. Ethan Evans, who had been somewhat hesitant, seemed convinced by this reasoning. His expression became self-righteous, and he lowered his voice to speak to me. Chloe is my wife now. I'm giving you a chance to get on her good side. If you upset her, be careful or I won't even let you be the other woman. Hurry up and pay the money. Looking at the man's smug, self-satisfied look in front of me, I almost laughed with anger. What they called having all her expenses covered by Ethan was leftover cake from Chloe, excess porridge Chloe couldn't finish, and living in the house my father bought for me, but because I caught them having an affair, instead, they twisted it around, accused me of having a dirty mind and seeing filth everywhere, and kicked me out. For 5 years, the look I was infatuated with. The moment he abandoned me at City Hall to get married, that burning passion suddenly turned cold. Looking at him now, only repugnant remained. I felt blinded by infatuation and realized too late. I had wasted 5 years for this scumbag. Seeing that I wasn't speaking, Ethan Evans impatiently snatched the wristwatch from my hand. Before I could stop him, he had already unwrapped it and put it on his wrist. I'm wearing the junk you sent. Are you satisfied now? Hurry up and go. Stop playing coy or I really won't pay attention to you. Later, even if you knelt and offered me $50 billion, you won't get a single word from me. Ethan Evans's friends also took the opportunity to lecture me. Aurora Sterling, Ethan has given you face, you should know when to stop. A little drama in a woman is cute, but endless drama is disgusting. Exactly, it's only 2.5 billion. For you, that's just pocket money. Being so cheap is truly petty. You should learn from Chloe's generosity and understanding. The gift she gave Ethan was carefully chosen with the money she earned from working part-time. I looked at the cheap little trinket hanging on Ethan Evans's phone, out of place and cheap. I couldn't help but laugh. That was indeed carefully chosen. Probably not even worth $10, right? Chloe Thompson looked as if she had suffered a huge insult. Her eyes quickly welled up. Biting her lip, she put on an act like a fragile but manipulative girl. I may not be as rich as you, but everything I like is bought with my own money. I'm cleaner than you. How dare you humiliate me? Ethan Evans held her tenderly, scolding me coldly, apologized to Chloe. I smiled and stuffed the list into her arms. All right, you're clean, I'm dirty. So these gifts, you buy them for your Ethan with your clean money. Chloe Thompson's face turned completely pale. Leaning on Ethan, looking like she might collapse, she looked like she would faint any second. Ethan Evans, burning with rage, slapped me across the face. Aurora Sterling, are you pushing your luck? You dare to bully Chloe like this? On the day of your birthday party, even if you kneel and beg me, I won't agree to the marriage arrangement. He glared at me, picked up Chloe and strode away. In the past, words like that would have left me completely flustered, kneeling and crying, only begging him not to abandon me. But now, I felt nothing. That slap, I considered it repayment for the favor of him saving me from the kidnappers 5 years ago. A few days later, the jewelry store called to inform me that the wedding ring the Wright family custom made for me was ready. When I hurried there, I saw Ethan Evans with his arm around Chloe Thompson's waist, trying on rings. They were close together, looking affectionate. Seeing me enter, Ethan Evans scoffed, then deliberately nibbled on Chloe Thompson's ear, making her playfully hit him. As if that wasn't enough, he cupped Chloe Thompson's waist and kissed her deeply, ignoring everyone else. When the kiss ended, Chloe Thompson shot me a provocative glance, blushing as she simpered, "Stop it, everyone's watching." The professionally trained staff kept their gazes averted, heads bowed. Only I pursed my lips, feeling physically repulsed. Ethan Evans raised an eyebrow at me, mistaking my expression, and his eyes narrowed smugly. "Now that you know you were wrong, come over here and apologize to Chloe." He was interrupted by a gasp from Chloe Thompson just as he finished speaking. "Ethan, this ring is so beautiful, I love it. Quick, bring it here, let me try it on." The clerk apologized and shook her head. "I'm sorry, this ring belongs to Miss Sterling. It's a specially custom-made, limited edition, one-of-a-kind piece. You cannot try it on." The clerk picked up the ring from the tray and carefully placed it on my finger. Chloe Thompson stared intently at my finger, her eyes flashing with unwillingness and greed. She suddenly looked aggrieved and her eyes turned red. "Miss Sterling, if you didn't want to give it to me, you should have said so. Why did you intentionally hurt me like this? A wedding in a week?" But Ethan Evans knew perfectly well that my birthday party was in a week, and Dad would preside over the wedding for my strategic marriage partner and me right then and there. The marriage of the richest family's daughter would be a grand event for all of Westwood City. I looked up at Ethan Evans. His eyes darted away, explaining awkwardly, "Just hide somewhere then. I'll tell the wedding planner to change the bride to Chloe. After the wedding, I'll spend a couple extra days with you, you should be happy with that." The sight of him acting like he was making a huge sacrifice made me laugh out of sheer anger. In all my life, I had never seen anyone so shameless. It's one thing for a housekeeper's daughter to steal the identity of the richest family's daughter and put on a show for her wedding, but she also expected me, the rightful bride, to hide like a rat in a gutter? Fortunately, I cut my losses in time and had already changed the groom. Seeing that I didn't speak, Ethan Evans naturally assumed he had me where he wanted me and ordered, "Anyway, you won't be needing the ring. Take it off and give it to Chloe." "No," I sneered. "Ethan Evans, where do you get the nerve to think I'll definitely marry you?" Ethan Evans was stunned for a moment, then laughed as if he'd heard a joke. "Did you hear yourself? Besides me, Who else would want a shameless lapdog throwing herself at him like you? Before I could react, he roughly yanked the ring off my finger and put it on Chloe Thompson. Unfortunately, the ring was a size too small, and Chloe Thompson struggled for a long time but couldn't squeeze it on. Crying with red eyes, she complained, "Miss Sterling, if you didn't want to give it to me, you should have said so. Why did you intentionally hurt me like this?" Ethan Evans furiously grabbed the ring and threw it into the toilet, flushing it 5 times. He came out, holding a tearful Chloe Thompson, and left, not forgetting to glare at me in disappointment and scold, "Chloe can't wear it, so you, a wicked woman like you, won't wear it either." The ring was gone, and I was wondering how to explain it to Daniel Wright when I received his reassuring call first. He said he had already had a new one custom-made abroad and it would definitely arrive on the day of my birthday party. He told me not to worry. Feeling relieved, I went back to the studio specifically to retrieve the wedding dress my mother designed for me herself before she passed away. Unexpectedly, as soon as I stepped in, the receptionist told me, "Aurora, Mr. Evans is upstairs." For the past 5 years, the people around me didn't know that I was so infatuated with Ethan Evans it was almost suicidal. Even in my most important professional field, Ethan Evans could act like he owned the place. Thinking of this, my eye ched. As I rushed upstairs, the scene before me made my blood rush to my head. Chloe Thompson was wearing the wedding dress my mother designed for me herself, preening in front of the mirror. "Ethan, do I look good in this wedding dress?" "Of course you do. Our Chloe, wearing this wedding dress, is the most beautiful bride in the world." My mother was an internationally renowned fashion designer. Before dying of a serious illness, to leave me with the most beautiful wedding dress, she dragged her sick body to draw the design, then sewed it stitch by stitch herself. After my mother's death, this wedding dress became my only keepsake. In the first 2 years I was with Ethan Evans, he also hugged me countless times, praising me gently, "Our Aurora, wearing this wedding dress, will be the most beautiful bride in the world." I felt as if I had been slapped hard, my head was buzzing. "Who allowed you to touch my things? Take off the wedding dress." Ethan Evans's face instantly darkened. "Aurora Sterling, you bullied Chloe and snatched her ring, so this wedding dress is for Chloe as an apology." My face was icy, I wouldn't budge. I said, "Take it off." Ethan Evans was embarrassed and roared in frustration and anger, "Enough, Aurora Sterling. If you keep making trouble, even if you knelt and died in front of me, I won't attend your birthday party. You'll be the one losing face. I'm warning you, that's enough, or I'll make you regret it." "Never mind, Ethan, since Miss Sterling doesn't want to, I'll take it off and give it back to her." She ran into the fitting room and came out holding a pile of rags. "Oh, Miss Sterling, I'm truly sorry. I had no idea the quality of this wedding dress was so poor, it ripped like this with just a slight pull. Good thing I didn't want it anymore. Wearing this kind of trash to a wedding would be so embarrassing." I held the pile of shredded fabric on the floor, my heart twisted in pain. "Seeing me like this, Ethan Evans said condescendingly, since it's ruined, never mind, it's not worth much anyway. Get ready in a week, transfer all your father's assets to me, don't keep a single cent. After Chloe and I have our wedding, you can be my official other woman. I'll give you a monthly allowance of $300 as compensation." Watching the backs of them leaving, chatting and laughing, I lowered my icy gaze. "In a week, I'd like to see if you'll still be laughing." Dad held a grand birthday party for me. Besides the other 3 major families in Westwood City, many business partners also came. When Ethan Evans entered, everyone immediately surrounded him with congratulations. "Mr. Evans looks like he's destined for great wealth and prestige, a match made in heaven with Miss Sterling. After today, Mr. Evans will be the #1 figure in Westwood City. You'll have the meat, hopefully, you'll leave some crumbs for us smaller companies." Ethan Evans swelled with pride, his face full of arrogant self-importance. When I appeared in an elegant dress, he immediately lowered his voice unhappily, "You're dressed so ostentatiously, it'll be hard to hide later. Go find a servant's uniform to change into quickly, hide in the restroom, and don't come out all day." I didn't even look at him directly. Ethan Evans's face turned dark with anger. "Aurora Sterling, if you dare to ruin my wedding with Chloe, don't expect me to ever look at you again." Just then, Dad and the lawyer came out of the study. Dad smiled at me. "My dear daughter, since you chose your husband yourself, you announce it." Ethan Evans watched me walk towards him, a smug smile playing on his lips. The next second, I walked past him and linked arms with the man standing behind him. "Dad, the strategic marriage partner I choose is Daniel Wright." In that instant, you could hear a pin drop in the entire ballroom, even the air seemed to freeze. Bang! A sudden, jarring noise cut through the silence. Ethan Evans roared uncontrollably, "Impossible, absolutely impossible, there must be a mistake." Many people started whispering to each other. I thought the marriage between Mr. Evans and Miss Sterling was a done deal. Turns out he's just a clown. Just moments ago, he was acting all smug like he was about to become Mr. Sterling's golden boy son-in-law. He's just trying to be something he's not, all show and no substance. I heard the Evans family only managed to squeeze into the four most powerful families in Westwood City thanks to the Sterling family's help. In reality, they're just a low-tier company. And this Ethan Evans is always putting on airs like a young master. His status was all thanks to Miss Sterling. He really overplayed his hand. A nouveau riche who's fallen on hard times, couldn't even be a proper kept man. It's so embarrassing. If I were him, I'd be too ashamed to show his face. Ethan Evans's face flushed red and then pale. He gritted his teeth and looked at me. "Aurora, quick, tell everyone you made a mistake. The person you're marrying is clearly me." My expression was indifferent. Even now, he still took it for granted that I couldn't live without him. I smiled and told him word by word, "There's no mistake. The strategic marriage partner I chose, the man I will marry, is Daniel Wright. It has nothing to do with you." "How could this be? You clearly loved me so much, you said you'd only marry me in this life. How could you marry Daniel Wright, that refined scoundrel?" His eyes widened, as if he'd been hit by a lightning bolt. "Did he lure you away? Did he drive a wedge between us?" "Aurora, Daniel Wright is a pervert. He's always spying on you. He's had bad intentions towards you for a long time. You can't let him fool you. Only my feelings for you are sincere." I smiled sarcastically. Did our relationship even need someone to come between us? "You humiliated me and trampled on me again and again for Chloe Thompson, threw away my ring, ruined the wedding dress my mother left for me. Someone like you? How do you have the nerve to talk about sincerity?" Every word I spoke, Ethan Evans's face grew darker, until finally, it was ghastly pale. "From the moment you chose to abandon me on the day we were supposed to get married to go find Chloe, you were no longer qualified to stand with me." I stepped back, ignored the panic in his eyes. "This is good. Since you love Chloe Thompson so much, you can have each other. Wish you both the best. Hope you're stuck together forever." With that, I pulled Daniel Wright and left. "No, it's not like that. I can explain." Ethan Evans still wouldn't give up, tried to pull me. He was blocked by the bodyguards Dad hired. Dad frowned and said coldly, "Mr. Evans, that's enough." He forced a dry laugh. "Mr. Sterling, you persuade Aurora. She clearly always loved me. Daniel Wright must have used sweet talk to deceive her. Don't ever believe him. He's just a malicious wolf trying to hand over the Sterling family's assets to himself." "Enough." Dad, who worked in the business world for many years, scared Ethan Evans into silence with a single shout. "I'm not so old I can't see straight. I know who's genuine and who's a snake." Ethan Evans didn't dare breathe heavily out of guilt. "The things you did to Aurora, I wasn't unaware. For the sake of how deeply my daughter loved you before, I won't dwell on it. Now my daughter has made her choice, sever ties with you completely. If you keep making trouble, I don't mind changing the fate of the Evans family." Ethan Evans was finally thrown out by the bodyguards. He fled in embarrassment under everyone's pointing fingers. On the day of the birthday party, Dad presided over the engagement ceremony for Daniel Wright and me. Daniel Wright insisted on preparing a grand wedding for me again. The wedding date had to be postponed by half a month. Dad called me to his room and asked worriedly, "Honey, although the marriage to Daniel is set, if you don't like him, Dad can intervene." "Dad, I'm willing." Thinking back to the day Ethan Evans left me at City Hall to get married, I called more than 20 times but couldn't get through. The last call connected. But it was Chloe Thompson deliberately letting me hear sounds of intimacy. Ethan, do you like me or Aurora Sterling more? Of course it's you, you're my sweetheart. Aurora Sterling is just a dog I can call and dismiss whenever I want. After I get the Sterling family's assets, I'll make Aurora Sterling your housekeeper. You can torment her however you want. 5 years of sincere devotion, and in his heart, I was just a dog. At that moment, my heart finally turned completely cold. I walked out of City Hall feeling completely disheartened, completely unaware that a truck running a red light sped towards me from the opposite side. When I reacted, my mind went blank as I watched the car getting closer and closer was about to hit me. In a critical moment, I was pulled out with great force. As we rolled away, afraid I would fall, he used his back to block the stone pillar by the roadside. I was completely unharmed, but he broke 2 ribs. This person was none other than Daniel Wright. Daniel Wright and I were actually childhood sweethearts. We lived next door when we were kids, and when parents were busy, Daniel Wright always took care of me. Later, the Wright family business moved overseas, and before leaving, Daniel Wright gave me a bracelet and told me to wait for him. I waited year after year, until that year I turned 18, I was kidnapped. The kidnappers wanted money and put a hood on me, but when they successfully received the ransom, they had evil intentions towards me. When I woke up in the hospital, what I saw was Ethan Evans with a bruised and swollen face. He was grinning at me. It's good that you're okay. It wasn't in vain that I almost lost my life to save you. At the age of 18, A.B. Oy risked his life for me. I fell for his sweet words and forgot the promise with Daniel Wright. Until today, many years later, he saved me, and a sense of déjà vu stirred up dusty memories. I couldn't believe that the person who risked their life to save me back then could be someone like Ethan Evans, so heartless and wanting to have his cake and eat it too. I paid a high price to have the incident reinvestigated. The truth was, I was really wrong. The person who saved me from the kidnappers back then, and the person who broke 2 ribs for me in the car accident today, were all Daniel Wright. He almost lost his life in the kidnappers' hands to save me, but Ethan Evans took the credit. And I not only forgot our promise back then, but also made him experience the pain of the person he loves going to another man while he was on the verge of death. Every time I thought of this, a deep ache in my chest left me breathless. This time, I firmly told Dad, "Dad, I truly want to marry Daniel Wright, and I will never regret it." Dad sighed in relief and smiled with satisfaction. Daniel is a good kid. He's actually been asking about you all these years, but wouldn't let me tell you. You were able to recognize true sincerity. Dad is very happy. From now on, I'll leave the company to you, and Dad will also be at ease. Leaving the room, I saw Daniel Wright waiting at the door. I walked over and took his hand. Now you can rest assured. He's not a man of many words, he just tightly held my hand. What are you doing? A sudden angry shout interrupted the moment. Ethan Evans stood at the gate, roaring uncontrollably in anger, like someone who had caught his wife cheating. Let go of my wife. His eyes bloodshot, he rushed up and threw a punch at Daniel Wright. Easily dodging, he was instead kicked out. He climbed back up the steps, looking at me with a mix of defiance and pain. Aurora, stop messing around. I know you're just trying to make me jealous. Mari. Age is not a small matter. You can still regret it now. If you keep acting like this, I'm really going to get angry. Even if you beg me later, I won't come back for you. Sometimes I really had to admire Ethan Evans. Where did he get off? Thinking no matter how he hurts me, I would always love him unconditionally. I smiled sarcastically. The most regretful thing I ever did was loving you, this thief, for 5 years. Hearing the word thief, Ethan Evans subconsciously glanced at Daniel Wright, then replied guiltily, I don't understand what you're talking about. I mercilessly exposed him. You claimed Daniel Wright's life-saving favor to me, deceived me into loving you. For these past 5 years, you took pleasure in humiliating me and trampled on my sincerity. It was my own mistake. I don't blame anyone. Now you can have Chloe Thompson. I hope you won't pester me again. I'll say it one last time, I don't love you anymore. Not now, not ever. From now on, In my heart, there will only be my husband. Please have some self-respect, and don't bother me again. I turned and left, no longer looking at Ethan Evans, who looked dejected and distraught. I thought I had made myself clear enough. Unexpectedly, in just 3 days, Ethan Evans returned. This time, he dragged a woman with a bruised and swollen face and threw her in front of me. I looked for a long time before being surprised to find it was Chloe Thompson. Aurora, you were right, I was a jerk before, I couldn't see my own heart clearly. I've reflected carefully, and it's all this wretched woman's fault. If she hadn't seduced me, I never would have betrayed or hurt you. She's the one to blame for everything. Chloe Thompson didn't know if she was brainwashed or beaten into submission. Hearing him say this, she dragged a twisted broken leg, knelt in front of me, frantically pleaded, Miss Sterling, I was trashy, I was seducing Mr. Evans. It's all my fault. The person Mr. Evans truly loves has always been you. Please be kind and give him another chance. As she spoke, her eyes were filled with fear. Trembling and cowering, looking cautious, as if afraid someone would rush up and hit her. Ethan Evans kicked her away. As if he had regained confidence, he hurriedly pulled out 2 divorce certificates and gave me a fawning smile. Aurora, I've already divorced Chloe. I'm single now. I don't care what you've been through. You go divorce Daniel right now. Shall we get married right away? No. Looking at his self-righteous and hypocritical face, my stomach churned. Where do you get the nerve to say you don't mind me? You always only use women as shields to hide your hypocritical, wanting both ways nature. You just realized you don't have me, this lapdog, clinging to you. You lost the glory of being flattered, lost the benefits I brought you. Without the Sterling family's help for the Evans family, you found out you can no longer squeeze into high society. You're afraid you can never go back to the good old days, that's why you are groveling and admitting you're wrong to me. In fact, you don't think you're wrong at all. Chloe Thompson and I are just choices you made after weighing the pros and cons. You don't love anyone. You only love yourself. Acting so affectionate, you've probably even fooled yourself. You truly disgust me. After saying that, I didn't want to see his face for a second longer. Just as I was about to turn around, he suddenly rushed up and hugged my leg. Aurora, please don't treat me like this. I admit, I was a jerk. I relied on your love for me, thought no matter how I hurt you, you wouldn't be able to leave me. I didn't expect that when you really didn't want me anymore, I was scared. Whether you believe it or not, the only wife in my heart is you. Chloe Thompson was just something I used to pass the time when I was bored. Chloe Thompson, standing nearby, heard this. Her shoulders trembled violently. Tears couldn't stop Alling, but she didn't dare speak. Couldn't stand it anymore, I kicked him away, called the bodyguards and threw both of them out. And instructed the bodyguards to throw them out if they ever showed up again. On the wedding day, Daniel Wright came to pick me up early. When we arrived at the hotel, we heard someone rushing in frantically shouting. Miss Sterling, Mr. Evans is on the roof about to jump. He said if he doesn't see you in 10 minutes, he'll jump immediately. I didn't want to deal with it, but with so many guests today, it might ruin my wedding. I sighed tiredly. A pair of large hands pulled me into his arms. He gently kissed my forehead. Go, I'll wait for you to come back for the wedding. When Ethan Evans saw me, his eyes lit up. In just a few days, he looked like he had aged decades. His clothes were messy, eyes sunken, cheekbones prominent. The whole person exuded a gloomy aura. Aurora, I knew it, you still care about me. My eyes were cold. I said, it's impossible now. Even if you jump immediately, I won't even look at you again. A flash of unwillingness in his eyes. Why? What about me is not as good as Daniel Wright? I just made a mistake that all men in the world make. I already know I was wrong. Why won't you just give me another chance? Do you think Daniel Wright is any good? As men, I understand men best. I don't believe he can resist cheating after marriage. I frowned in disgust. Don't think all men are like you. Ethan Evans's eyes turned red. Tears couldn't stop falling. Fine, I'll make it happen for you. I only have one request now. Before you marry another man, kiss me one last time. Are you insane? Ethan Evans laughed indifferently. If you don't kiss me, I'll jump. Splatter blood on your wedding. Every year your wedding anniversary will be the anniversary of my death. You'll never be able to forget me. I was silent for a moment, and finally had no choice but to nod. Before walking over, I subtly exchanged at a glance with the paramedics nearby. Just as I got within an arm's length of Ethan Evans, he suddenly lunged at me, his eyes full of madness. If I can't have you, Daniel Wright won't either. Aurora, let's be husband and wife in the afterlife. At the critical moment, Chloe Thompson, with disheveled hair, rushed out from somewhere, holding a pillow. Shouting like a madwoman, "You killed my baby. You pay with your life." She lunged at us, bumping into us. The moment she fell off the balcony, I thought I was definitely going to die, but was held tightly by a hand. When Daniel Wright pulled me up, 2 loud thuds came from below. I cuddled in his arms, trembling uncontrollably. "Don't be afraid, it's okay, I'm here." I leaned against his strong heartbeat. My emotions quickly calmed down. Ethan Evans and Chloe Thompson died on the spot. My wedding with Daniel Wright was postponed by 1 day. It was too grim to have it on the same day as Ethan Evans's death. A year later, we gave birth to twin daughters. Daniel Wright named them Lily and Daisy. For the rest of our lives,